sometimes you just don't learn. Or you don't learn until it's a little bit too late, multiple times. Then you're tired of getting hurt, then you learn. That's my story. So I pulled my neck, you guys, two hands full of times. What? Anyway, too many times, right? Before I learned, before I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out because it's ridiculous. So anyway, in this video, I'm gonna tell y'all what I was doing before that was not proper form, and not even knowing what I was doing, and then how to correct it. And then later in the video, I'm gonna tell y'all where you can go to find more tips, like proper form, modifications, progressions to different movements if you're not familiar with them, where you can go for those, okay? So hang in till the end. But first, my story. Okay, so growing up, my mom, she said, Titty, put your shoulders back. So I was like, oh yeah, because she told us that, you know, it showed confidence, right? You don't want to be slouching around, you don't look confident, right? And it's just bad form. So I was like, okay, yeah, every time. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, she always. Titty, shoulders back. Oh yeah, you know. Well, when I was correcting it, this is how I was correcting it. Okay? See, my traps are engaged, my shoulders are up. So they're back, but they're also up. So for like 28 years, well, maybe a little less than that, but anyway, for a majority of my life, that's where I held my shoulders, was up in my traps. Makes for some nice traps, you know, because you're constantly engaging them, but that's not good. It's not the way you want to get your traps, okay? So what I didn't realize that I was even doing that, okay? Finally went and saw somebody from a Rosti. If y'all have never been to a Rosti clinic, y'all should check them out. They're pretty dope. So I went in and she, you know, worked on my back a lot, but then she also worked on my form. She's like, we're gonna have to work on your form too. I'm gonna give you movements to practice. So she had me stand there. She's like, all right, put your shoulders down. And I was like, they are. She was like, no, they're not. Like, put them down, like relax them. I was like, they are. She was like, no. She came over to me, pushed my shoulders down, and then I was like, oh, like, it picked up the sun in the middle. Like, this felt normal. Like, my body and my brain was programmed to this being normal. But when she pushed my shoulders down, I realized, oh, you're right, you know? And it was so crazy in my head that all this time, like, this is what felt normal because this is how I trained myself, right? And that's what my muscles got used to, my brain, like everything. This is right? So she was like, what you've been doing is not only have you been up in your traps all day, you know, working, whatever you're doing, but also in your movements when you're working out, you know? Like rows, I'm up here instead of down and back, right? Push-ups, I'm here instead of here. Every movement I did, I was up in my traps, and that was my problem, and I kept pulling my neck. So I learned, instead of put your shoulders back, you put them back, but also back and down. And that's how the posture should be, not back and up, because you don't want your traps to be engaged. So I finally realized that, or learned it, didn't even know I was doing it, but I had to reprogram my brain with practicing different movements she gave me, and I would consciously have to be like, okay, you know, because of it feeling so normal for this to be right. So I basically had to reprogram my body, my brain, and work on those movements. And then not only that, but make sure when I was working out, implementing that proper form into my movements, because that's a really big deal, you guys. You always want to be in proper form whenever you're performing your movements. So keep that in mind, at least when it comes to your neck. Make sure in your movements, your shoulders are still down and back. It's not just in everyday life, it's even in your movements. So you want your shoulders down and back in all your movements, okay? Whatever it is, all right? So I hope that helps y'all. I have a program that I actually have an app that my program is on, and within that, it has a section where I'm gonna be listing all of like proper form, you know, proper modifications to the movements and progressions of how to get better at certain movements. So if you're interested in that, I'm gonna have that on my app, and you can try it out for $1 for your first month. So what do you have to lose, right? So y'all can check that out. But I just wanted to give y'all that tip today about how to have proper form with your neck, so that hopefully y'all don't go through what I went through with pulling my neck too. Another thing I remembered real quick before we go, little PS, is that you want your chin to be back. You don't want your head out here. A lot of times that's how we walk around, is with our head out. But it actually, I mean, it looks dumb, but like that's actually where it should be. So get somewhere close to that, you know, to where you actually look normal and not like a robot. But it should be pushed back so that it's in alignment. But anyway, all right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed this, got a lot from it. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure that you subscribe. And if you want to click the bell to know when I release a new video, you'll always get notified. All right, guys, love y'all. See you on the next one.